Display viewer select one channel. Uh-oh. What is this? Edit. Hold on. Reactions. Anyone. Okay. Now people should be able to talk. Unreal. Hey, sorry I had y'all throttled. Had y'all throttled. Freedom of speech. Hell's got a lot on his brain today. He needs to be able to voice. He needs to be able to vent. Hella, you got a rant video coming? Yo, Scott, Ryan. Scott, you didn't send me a box yet, have you? Because I haven't received anything, and I didn't want it to be floating around out in the out in the wild. You're streaming at the same time as FLW Tim. Who is FLW Tim? Does he have good stuff? Should I get off of here and go buy his stuff? Haven't streamed in so long, I forgot how. I did have a guy comment on a video a while back, and he basically said, "Hey, funny guy, cut the bullshit, quit farting around, and get to the good stuff." And I don't know that maybe he did realize, but I don't typically make like topical videos where I'm just like, here I am and I'm gonna talk to the screen. So I typically, there's a 2-minute lull at the beginning where I wait on people to get on and then we talk, and I just talk to y'all. And but you know, to each their own. Box full of crankbaits in a bag. What's up, AJ? Got some decent new old stock. I like that. What's the color? How to pick the color, Morgan? It's easy. It's the same process that I've pretty much always used since I started painting, and even before that. I would just yeah, I'm gonna get a thumbs down if I don't get to the point. But the easiest way to pick a color, and it works every time, you just reach in your box and you look around, and there's always that one that like gives you that warm fuzzy feeling down in your plums, and you're like, that's the one that makes you feel, makes you feel good. It's easy. That's the easiest way. As Eric would say, one of his buddies said, pick the one, or if it makes you feel sexy, that's the one. Pick the one that makes you feel sexy. That's how you do it. And it works. That was what got me into painting. The majority of my baits, they didn't make me feel sexy. They look like shit. They bothered me. I'd look at them and be like, that's not sexy. That's lame. But I think if you're throwing something that makes you feel good and you're excited to throw it, it doesn't matter what it is. Darius, we actually used to throw that down here, not with black splatter. We used to throw a pink bandit. That was pretty good. pretty good. But pink's a hard sell. Like people either get pink or they don't like pink. It's not worth trying. It doesn't make them feel sexy. I guess that's what it is. Is they don't look down in their tackle box and see a pink bait and it makes them feel sexy. Maybe it's some sort of demasculates them. Morgan, we were talking earlier, it's not just any red. You can't just pick any red. It's not that easy, bro. You picked a red that made you feel sexy, but it wasn't the approach. You were off a little. You were off a little. Your sexy bait needed a little glitter. Hot pink spinnerbait is the ish around here for a few weeks every year. Blade skirt, everything. As bright as pink gets. What time of year, Jeremy? Post-spawn? Pre-spawn? The pink crank at St. Clair. I know pink topwaters occasionally make a little bit of a push occasionally, but I've actually years when I was in Austin, I used to paint some pink crankbaits and they sold pretty decent. Not great, but I'm trying to think, is there video evidence of anybody throwing a pink crankbait? Demon is pretty pink. Demon is pretty pink. I don't know that I'd call it pink. I would maybe go strawberry. Is it strawberry or is it pink? I keep carrying around an old school V155 wart, the pink shrimp color, to throw for smallies. Has it made it out? Color is all about confidence. I think that's true to a degree. I think it's just all situational. But it certainly help. I think confidence in your color elevates your fishing. That can take you from an okay day to an excellent day. Hey, Pryor. I think that's the main difference with picking colors is if you're feeling sexy and you're really down with what you're throwing, you're gonna throw the bait different. You're just gonna have a better. I think it's more of like you're putting like more positivity and like good mojo out there into the world, and you're just like fishing better. Because I know I don't fish well when everything on my deck is wrong, and everybody like the feeling when you're looking at you hadn't really got there yet, and you're fishing, and you just look down at everything, and everything feels wrong. Like it's the worst. It's probably my least favorite feeling in fishing, where you can't get comfortable, and everything you just look at, and you're like, that's all. None of that's right. Like I don't have what's right. Like I need to just cut everything off and then start over. But does color matter if you don't have a cranker body? No, if you're a flipper frame, you can probably just get away with like a black and white splatterback and like a chartreuse splatterback and then a red splatterback, and then that will suffice for flipper frame. So I feel 90% of the time. I was thinking about that driving down the road, dude. There's nothing worse but also no better feeling than when you're like, because to me, the best part about fishing, not the best part, but one thing I enjoy the most about going fishing is prepping to go fishing. That's almost just as fun. It's like sitting in here going through baits, like brainstorming, like trying to predict what's going to go down, and and that part's fun. But when you get out there and you've done all this work and homework and like dug through everything, made spinner baits, made jigs, whatever, painted crankbaits, stayed up half the night trying to paint the right bait, and then you get to it, and you go fishing, and all of your guesses and all of your assumptions and all of your mojo you had the day before is all wrong. Like you can't get bit on any of that stuff, and then you have to throw like a Cinco. Damn it! And you're like so hyped up. You're like, dude, I'm gonna jack them on my pink crankbait, like I know I am. And you get out there and you crank your pink crankbait around, and you're like, dude, they're gonna eat this thing. And you crank it probably a little longer than you normally would have because you're juicing on it, and then realization hits in. They're not jiving with my pink crankbait. Like I'm gonna have to. I don't care how pumped I am to throw this thing. I'm gonna have to put it down. But oh, they're a dragger like AJ. AJ is a AJ is a chameleon. AJ is almost like a AJ. You're almost a wool in sheep's clothing, dude. You're a you're a flipper in a crankbaiter's clothing. You're a dragger in a crankbaiter's clothing. That's another thing I've never done, Morgan. Like I've never been able just the way my mind works and experiences on the water. My experiences on the water have told me, and I've learned throughout the years, that like the chances of me being able to do one thing for longer than like 3 or 4 hours are really slim. And I see guys that like, like everybody's done it or seen it, where you come in and you've got one rod on deck or two and it's the same bait. Like that's worked for me. Like I've had days like that, like very, very few times. Um, but I think that also works for some people because they like get it so like there's usually a turning point in a tournament. And I use a tournament as an example because that's the only thing I have to really work with here. But say you went out and you practiced and you caught them flipping a jig, or we'll use the pink crankbait. You caught them on a pink crankbait, like the day before or something. And then you go out the next day and you throw your pink crankbait, and you don't get any bites. Well, then at that point is when tournament fishing gets interesting, or fishing in general, because you are at a crossroads. Do I stay with what worked yesterday, or do I bail and go do something else? This all changes the day. So say you're like, dude, I'm a dial on this horse. I'm riding Pinky all the way out in flames. We're going down with Pinky. Then you pick up Pinky, then you throw Pinky for another 45 minutes, and then you jack 20 pounds on Pinky. You did great. Some days you're like, screw Pinky. I'm going down this road and I'm gonna pick up my shaky head, and you go throw your shaky head, and you catch 8 pounds, and you come in scratching your ass and don't even get acknowledged at the weigh-in because you didn't weigh your fish. But it's very the psychological part of fishing has always been interesting. Then you scream, "I knew it!" Exactly. I knew it. Pinky. I knew it. Talk is a prime example of that. He knew it. He said, I'm riding this bee all the way to the bitter end. High 50s Thursday and Friday. Can't wait to get out there. It seems like February 2nd always starts up to turn on the lake. Darius, for some reason, I thought Hella wrote that, and I was like, Hella's fishing already? No way. Randy's right. We are in a microwave. Might hit 60 tomorrow. Damn, everybody's having a heat wave. I need to get these baits done, and then I can go test. I have a gigantic box of testers for Burnsies, and they need to be tested ASAP. Oh yeah, I forget Hella's boat's still in the dumps. Hella, how did Whatnot go? I didn't get to jump on there. We were busy. It's been chaotic with the chillins lately. I'm ready to go fishing. I've not been since October. Jeremy, that is quite the long wait. Good, per usual. Sold a bunch of average stuff for better than average prices. What's up, Brian? I need to go throw those so I can give them away. Morgan, that is not a great review. That's not a great plug for your bait. Will you go throw those pieces of shit I made you so you can give them away already? Will you go ahead and go out there and get disgusted by my ploppers so you can send them to some other poor soul that'll go throw them and then sell them on Whatnot? Did you sell a brat for $17? Did he? Morgan, somebody's going to see me throwing that. They're going to be out on. I'll be out on the water, and somebody's going to see me throwing a plopper and into January. They're going to be like, "What does that guy know?" That's typically what I think when I see somebody doing something really obscure. I think to myself, "What does he know that I don't?" Is there a plopper bite in January that I have missed? It's just like when it's like July, like the 4th of July in the South, and it's 6 million degrees, and you see the guy like in a giant shallow bay in the very back, like flipping. What are you doing? What are you doing back there? Look at that idiot over there throwing a topwater. And then I catch an 8 and I'm in the newspaper. Which I've never, are any of y'all that guy that just gets that like one random bite where you like go out and then you don't catch a fish, but you catch one and it's like a 6 or a 7? Like I don't know that I've ever entered a tournament, but I've fished a ton of tournaments where a guy comes in and he's got like a 6.5 pounder and a 1, and that's it. He's like, yeah, that's like the only bite we got all day. That's weird. How does that happen? Or what? How do you have to fish for that to happen to you? There was a lady on Hellstream who was insistent on him running a bulk pack of Gemmy hooks, then wouldn't bid. Ooh, that wasn't nice. Seen some dudes catching frogfish. I've caught frogfish down here in February, and buzzbait fish. It's not too early. You just typically don't get a lot of bites at all, but they're typically big. Does not happen to AJ. Typically doesn't happen to draggers, but I'll bring in 3, and some guy has 1 that weighs more than my bag. Treasure Gang member Colby got them, so it worked out. Perfect. It was not in vain that Hella put his super pack of gammies on the chopping block. Has anyone asked you to paint any money badgers yet? No. Nope. Not yet. The only thing people ask me to paint is DT6s, XRs, Fritz sides. That's about it. That's about it. Lucky Crafts. I get a fair share of Lucky Crafts. AJ said he's done a few money badgers. I don't know. I don't know that I'd know what a money badger were if it slid across my desk right now. I'm asking these little BDS ones, the little fake ones that are badass. You know what's funny about this bait? As I talked to the company that sells them, and I was talking to their purchaser, I believe, and he was like, what, because my order was dicked up, and he's like, what's wrong with the bait? I was like, I got the wrong one. I want the BDS one. And he's like, what? I was like, I want the BDS one. And he's like, which one is that? I'm like, you don't know what a damn BDS one is, dude? I'm like, y'all sell a knockoff of it. I'm like, surely you know that's what it is, right? And he was like, oh, that one. I'm like, yeah, that one. It's BDS one, except it's not silent. It has a rattle in it. Ooh, the K9 KOs are pretty awful. If you like your baits to crack from without ever being fished, those are definitely for you. Those are definitely for you. Nessies. I was not impressed with the colors on those, because I remember hearing Ike talk about he met some like taxidermist at a gas station and was like, got the guy to do the colors for the Nessie, and I was like, oh, well, these are going to be badass. And then I saw the colors and I was like, Those guys are idiots. They tried to tell me that I didn't know my own sales tax rates. Which guys? Please tell me. Oh, the guys, the company I'm talking about? Yeah, I got a good kick out of that though. That's like me selling you a K9, like a DRT K9 knockoff, and you saying, "Hey, my K9 dicked up," and me being like, "What's a K9?" Like, "Oh, you sell a knockoff of DRT's Clash." I'm like, really? Which one is that? Oh, the big swim bait thing with the bill. Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure. They must be wrong. Uh, I will say there was. It looks like they had a new mold made of this bait though, AJ. The gill plates are a little different. Same bait, but it looks like there was a new mold made. There's some different stuff on the gill plate. It's like flash or something. I don't know what it is. Hey, Grammy. Bagley's at the moment. Let's go through all the different color variations that you can get when you order a Bagley. So here's one, root beer. You can also order root beer, and it looked like this. Which root beer is more root beer? What other variation do I have? Here is a light colored one with black. This one has kind of brown, and these have different color bellies. I never knew. I never knew how much variation you would see in these. But there's a lot. So I guess this is that type of manufacturing is what is good for me and AJ, because people get this bait with the light orange belly and they catch the crap out of fish on them, and then they go buy more, and then this has like the neon red belly and the really dark back, and they're like, the color's wrong. I'm like, what color's wrong? I'm like, well, this is the one I like, and then I went and bought more, and they're wrong. They're not crazy. They're not crazy. All right, I'm gonna have to leave here in a minute. I gotta go. I gotta go get them kids. Hello, Barnsey. These are the newer ones, Bob. I test ran them. I like them. I like them. A kid. He's not a kid. He's a grown man, but he's just younger than me. So I guess I can call him a kid. He brought some in a couple years ago, and he was from here. I was like, "What bait is this, dude?" And he's like, "It's a Bagley." It's like, "The new ones, huh?" It's like, "Yeah." So they're pretty good. So they're pretty legit. And I kept telling myself, I'm going to order some of those. And I never did. And then I did. And went and fished them. They're badass. And they're through wire. Through wire frame, 2-piece body. The fit and finish on them isn't perfect. I mean, what can you expect? But I kind of like that about them. I like all their imperfections of how they're built. So I feel like they're built a lot like a lot of the older like baby pigs and like shit like that, where you've just got a harness and a weight and it's just smashed between 2 pieces of balsa. That's pretty much how this was made. So I'm a fan. I can see these going down as pretty good baits in the future. At least when you get a B1, they are the same size. That I'm more like. I care less about the finish. It's way down the scale as far as like variations of stuff or like sloppy glue jobs on the bill. Like I don't care about that. I'm with Scott. I want the body to be the same. I want the lip to be in the same place, and I want the body to be the same profile. Not too much to ask. They don't make a B3, Brendan. They make a B1 and they make a B2. And the B1 is not really a B1. And the B2 is not really a B2. They're completely different shapes. Oh yeah, Scott. I could pull out my B2 and B3 or my B, even the B3s, but the B3s are pretty consistent. But I could pull out my B1 box and B2 box, and maybe I'll do that one day and go through all the different shapes that you might get. And a dude sent me a dude out of Missouri. Watch out, AJ. I'm getting Missouri customers. Got a Missouri sent me a 2 Bagleys that needed a little bit of work. A lot more than I initially thought. And he sent me those. And one of them was a Balsa B2, but it was not, it was like a stretched out, weird looking Balsa B2. It was not a Balsa B2 profile. But it was a Balsa B2. But it was, I don't even know what it was. But if I would have held that bait up to you and been like, Scott, what is this? You just said that. Shit, I don't know. But no KB2 either. They don't sell the stuff, Brendan, that people don't buy. And I guess when Bagley was bought by Northland, they went to the record books and said, all right, if we're going to sell baits, let's see what sells. Well, Balsa B3s, those are out. Killer Bees, those are out. Looks like Balsa B1s and 2s were big sellers. What's wrong with those? DB3 sold a ton of DB3s. We're going to roll with those. And yeah, throw some Bangalores in there. Those sold good. Besides that, toss in a new Sunny Bee and a little prop bait, topwater thing. Should be good to go. I meant to message you and ask you that, AJ. if you were going to pull the trigger. I pulled the trigger hard. And I like painting them. Scott, that's what I've always heard, that the Sunny Bee is it's been the best thing to come out of Bagley in quite some time. Um, I found a few Bangalores with one prop on the back. Those are the good ones. Those are the good ones, bro. Bobby NFS, not for sale balsa. Brendan, what have you been working on? Haven't seen you doing lives lately. Have you retired too? Did I motivate you to be unmotivated? Bobby, when you get home, you're gonna have to dig through a mountain of baits to find your wife and kids. You're gonna have to like peek through the crankbaits and be like pulling them out and be like, y'all in there? When you open the front door, baits are just gonna fall out. Uh-oh, he was live last night. Brennan, you must be on the naughty list from YouTube or other social media platforms because I was not getting notifications. You must have said something bad. He took over the lunch slot. Dick. Yesterday afternoon. No notification. He's on the naughty list. You would have thought I would have thrown a Sunny Bee in my basket, Scott, but I didn't. You got notified? Maybe I'm the one on the naughty list. Sunny Bees are on sale now. Yeah, they sure are. They sure are. And you can buy you can buy some kit. How big, BBC? How big is this monstrosity? Scott, sounds like I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to take off a whole week for your box. It's growing by the minute. Seeing all the different eye dotting is really funny. These are probably my least favorite. Don't like those at all. Those aren't nice. Those are kind of horseshoe customs-ish. These are kind of standard in the industry, a little high. What else? Do we have any good ones? I did find one that was pretty good. I thought that one's a little crooked. No, those are a little jacked up. I don't see one good set of eyes. I think I already painted them. Oh, look at that one. This one's like I don't see how he's on the list. He runs a PG-13 channel. He can't even say public pubic hair on his channel. I have seen all sorts of movies. Go look at AJ's DT he posted today. Let's look. Horseshoe. Whoa, those are real low, AJ. What are you doing? Are you trying to make your baits look exponentially better by dropping the eyes towards the nose and set up on the head, anatomically correct? Go back to the old ways. Go back to the old ways where the eyes look better on top of the head and on the side a little bit. Jermaine has not seen anything. All right, dudes, I gotta go. I gotta go see the babies. Bean's coming home from dance. Y'all be good. Good talking to everybody. We'll check in later. Peace.